Hey everyone, Creatively Cara here, and my channel is all about taking you along on my creative journey with me. Today we're going to be doing my December setup for the last month of 2019. Now I'm kind of throwing at you this random curveball. I have been struggling a lot lately, and I'm finding that the system I was using for my bullet journal was just not working for me. So I'm whipping out my mini Happy Notes notebook, and we're gonna do my last week of November in this along with all of December. It's gonna be kind of weird because I think after this I'm gonna move back to a typical notebook. I think the biggest issue for me was that the notebook I was using was of cheap quality and it just was not working for me. So I'll probably go back to maybe a Dingbats or another notebook out there that is of higher quality so that I can stick with it. And I also think I'm going to change up my style a little bit, so stay tuned for all of that. To dive into our video today, I have lots of washi tape to use. My sister got me a lot of really cool holiday themed washi tape last year for Christmas, and I was like, okay, guess I may use these next year, but here we are, and I will be doing kind of a more holiday themed. I was really more focusing on the peppermint side of things, and you will definitely see that on this cover page. I'll be using lots of different markers and pens for a lot of the peppermint drawing pieces. I'm going to be using my Staedtler dual-ended brush marker. All of the items I used in the video today will be linked in the description box down below. For the cover page, I did decide to kind of use a cool pattern. So my peppermint pattern goes with a thin line, then a thick line, then a thin line, and a thick line. So I really liked this pattern as I think it looked better than just using the same thickness for each line. I think it added a little bit pizzazz to it. Now I forget the exact dimensions, but the mini Happy Planner or Happy Note size is I think like 4.5 by 7. That's in inches, and so it's pretty small. It's smaller than A5. And I've considered going to this before. I've had a Discbound bullet journal, actually more at the end of last year as well, towards the beginning of this year. And I have some videos on that, so I will link those down below as well as some of the cards here. But I really enjoyed my Discbound bullet journal. I think it was a lot of fun, but there's always something about a bound notebook that just speaks to my soul. So yes, I'll probably go back to that unless for some reason I fall in love with this style. We'll have to wait and see. The next 2 pages in this notebook are going to be for my calendar. So we're going to do the calendar setup with the standard boxes. In an A5, the sizes of the squares would probably be more like a 6 by 6. But I think mine were counted out as 9 dots by 9. The dots that come on the standard like Happy Notes pages are very small. There are so many of them on here, so that kind of made it hard for me to really work with this, because basically like 2 dots is equivalent to 1 sort of, but not really. So anyways. The nice thing about the Discbound is you can take the pages in and out, because yes, the rings can get in the way a little bit when you're writing. So as you can see, I just took them back out so I could do my hand lettering here at the top. But that flexibility is really nice. So if you need to take it out, you can, or you can put it back in. Now I wanted to add my red to this, so I was really just winging this, all of it. I knew I wanted to use red and peppermint and utilize my washi tape, so I just kind of went with that mindset. This Tombow marker, I think it's N95, and it is a very light gray, but when you kind of like brush over it with brush over a black marker, it does kind of darken the color a little bit, so that was adding a nice touch. Then I'm using my Stabilo fine liner to go back through and add in the numbers. This red was actually a little bit off from the other red I used. I probably should have just used my Staedtler fine liner because I have those, but whatever. Now here I wanted to use some washi tape because I had some room on this cover page. So my camera cut out a little bit there actually, but I'm using my duck masking tape and then some of the red washi tape I have, along with this really cute peppermint candy washi tape. So that worked really well. This does look kind of intense, I think, with the thick black washi tape. I probably should have like cut it in half or something, but it's all right. Maybe I'll just like darken my December, like thicken those letters up, because I think that could balance the page a little bit better. So next up will be my notes page, and for this page I wanted to do a border, so the border is going to be in that peppermint theme. Just took me a minute to kind of draw out the border here. How is all of your bullet journals coming? I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video that I've been struggling lately and I really just can't seem to keep up with it. I just forget to use it, or it's really not doing what it should be doing for me. Kind of thought about potentially going back and doing more dailies along with weeklies so that I can do a little bit more journaling, because I've really been wanting to get into journaling. Now, when I think about that though, I want to be able to maybe utilize my stickers or do a little bit of doodling within that. And I think about it and I'm like, am I really going to do that every day? I don't know, because I already don't use it. So it's kind of hard for me to get in my mindset of how I want to utilize my bullet journal in the end. So I'd love to kind of hear what you use your bullet journals for, what kind of style you use, because you know there's the traditional Ryder Carroll method, and as you can see here I've got this Discbound method. So there's so many different ways to bullet journal, and I'm really curious how you use yours. Let me know in the comments below. Now this is going to be my gratitude log. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I was kind of feeling like this could be a good thing to include here, so I went ahead and did that. And please don't make fun of this page because, like I said, the dots are off and I wasn't quite sure how much room I was going to have when I wrote this out. And I totally have the numbers scrunched at the bottom and farther apart at the top, so it's a little long. Habit trackers and mood trackers. I've talked about them before. I usually struggle to keep up with those as well, but I just keep trying them every month and hope for the best, honestly, I think is what it comes down to. So here we are again. I really do like this layout. I think that this setup worked really well in the mini notes planner. What are some of your favorite habits to track? I usually track exercise, water, journaling, reading, sometimes tidying the house, but I'm curious to hear what are some of the things that you track. Maybe you have some unique things that you track. And I actually left my bottom line blank because I wasn't quite sure of what I wanted to put there. So maybe you guys can give me a little inspiration, so just let me know in the comments below some of the things that you track, so maybe I can add that. As I thought about the peppermint theme, I knew I wanted to utilize actual candy canes when it came to the mood tracker. So I am going to divide this up by the skinny lines together is going to stay white, and then the bigger pieces between those lines. I am debating on what I want to do right now. I do have multiple shades of red, so I could do just different shades of red, or I could end up doing just different patterns. I'm not quite sure yet, so yeah, we'll have to kind of see how that ends up panning out. But FYI, I did calculate this wrong, so the extra peppermint stick you see at the bottom is not going to be to label my mood tracker. It's going to be additional stripes because I ran out of them. So in the mini notes planner, I plan on doing a weekly layout and then doing more of kind of daily pages. I'm going to start off with half daily pages because I feel like that'll give me enough room. But if I decide to really take on with this journaling thing, I might end up doing full pages. We'll kind of see where this takes me, but I think this is the direction I want to move with my bullet journal, is still kind of having that weekly layout, but being able to really dive into each day and record things each day and track memories, all the good things. So we'll kind of see how this goes. Here is a flip through of my entire December setup in my mini Discbound planner. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. If you did, be sure to give this video a like down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And don't forget to ring that bell to be notified of when my next videos are posted. Until next time, bye-bye.